Hey, this is Pamela Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. Guess what, Greg?
Is that a little preview of what we might be talking about today?
Bananas, yes. And also, ice apocalypse in Austin means this is day 3 of 4 out of school this week. That's super fun.
No, not envious.
Okay, go away. Yes, here in most of the central corridor of Texas, we are digging out from a pretty horrific ice storm that, I mean, 300,000 people in Austin are out of power and still out of power. The grocery stores are closed because they don't have power in some areas. I guess we lived this 2 years ago and we're just kind of like, stay warm. Stock up on, I think people stocked up a little bit better than they did last time, and we'll just ride it out. It's already mostly melted now, but yeah, super fun.
Yeah, well, 500 miles to the north, it's kind of nice out.
Yeah, quit bragging, man. Well, this week in the news, we had something that kind of follows up what we talked about last week, and that was dunnhumby came out with their retailer preference index. And this is a little bit different. And this is one of those studies that you can see the methodology and there's kind of some science behind it instead of asking random people in the United Kingdom and wherever what the most popular grocery store is in America.
It's a little bit better, and I suppose you didn't mind the result as well.
Yeah, my hometown HEB took over from Amazon again. And then we had Costco is number 2. That's my second most common grocery store. And then there's Amazon at 3 and Wegmans at 4. And the retailer preference index is kind of a little bit different. So they are trying to understand customer preference and then the retailer's financial results. And it predicted which retailers will last. So it's a really interesting thing to look at. The other ones that are on the retailer preference index include Sam's Club, which Walmart is opening, 30 new Sam's Clubs? Walmart's pretty bullish on Sam's Club right now. Market Basket, we hear lots of good news about Market Basket. They are a very differentiated regional retailer up in New England. And Amazon Fresh, I don't know though, because we had some news about Amazon Fresh this week that suggests that maybe Amazon is kind of pumping the brakes a little bit. They haven't opened a new store since September, and they have what I've heard called zombie locations where they've already gotten ready to open and they just kind of pulled back on the opening and are waiting on it. Trader Joe's, Winco is another regional differentiated retailer that is expanding pretty rapidly. BJ's, Target, Aldi, ShopRite, Walmart Neighborhood Walmart Market, and Walmart itself. So really interesting study to look at. And the results are, I feel like, a little more accurate than calling Aldi America's most popular grocery store.
Yeah, Aldi, we'd like to say, is in the top 12.
Yes.
That would mean
Yeah.
number 12. But three wholesale clubs are in the top 10. Do you think that's a sign of those trending up due to economic situation?
Yeah, I feel like consumers are really turning to the wholesale club because they're giving people the experience of you feel like you're saving money, even though it's the joke that a lot of people can't go into a Costco or something like that without spending $400. But if you are actually shopping for food, you can save a lot of money at Costco if you just put your blinders on and avoid everything up front and avoid all of the knives and $400 blenders and all of that stuff. If you just keep your blinders on and shop only for food, you are going to save a lot of money on some high quality items. Same goes for Sam's Club. I've not had the pleasure of visiting a BJ's Wholesale, but I feel like every other week, at least, we have a news release about another new BJ's Wholesale opening. So I'm just waiting for it to spawn in on the corner over here.
There was a segment in there where it talked about online grocery, and it listed the top 6 retailers, and they were Amazon, Amazon Fresh, Target, Sam's, Walmart, Walmart Neighborhood Market.
I feel like,
That tells me that only the big boys need apply, and there's one conspicuously absent
which
who's
one
been
was
doing
that?
a lot in online.
Which one is that?
Someone
Kroger?
based in Cincinnati, perhaps.
The one that has doesn't even have physical locations in a bunch of markets, and they're expanding into like South Florida and Miami and those areas. The online grocery part of this study is a little bit different than you would expect, especially when we talk about online. And in the Amazon story that I wrote this week, it mentioned that Amazon's going to start charging more for grocery delivery as part of the Prime program. Because when it first started, they said, hey, Prime members are going to get free delivery. I think the minimum order was $35 or something like that. And now it's this tiered system. And then they're going to reward you for taking it later by having a lower cost and things like that. Walmart, on the other hand, is really putting a lot of effort into enriching the online grocery experience and doing as much as they can. If you think about their white glove service, I can't remember what it's called, where they go into your house and put your groceries away for you. So it's not surprising to me that Walmart commands more than 20% of the online grocery market, according to, I think it was UBS had a research note about that. So to see all the different versions of Walmart on that online grocery thing was not surprising. To not see Kroger was surprising. So definitely something to dig into.
Maybe next year is when it cracks it.
Yeah, next year, if and when the Albertsons acquisition closes, and all of a sudden all of those Safeway Albertsons stores are now mysteriously Kroger grocery pickup and delivery locations. Yeah, possibly.
Well, back to the beginning of the video when you got photobombed. That was a banana, and I noticed you have a little Dole in the background, and Dole was certainly in the news this week. Not the fruit side of the business, but the vegetable side. They sold their entire vegetable unit to competitor Chiquita and their Fresh Express brands for almost $300 million. And that's an enormous deal. The
Yeah.
release brand said through 21, the Dole Vegetable had revenue of $1.28 billion. That's an enormous amount of buyers who are not going to be doing business with Dole anymore.
Yeah, that is enormous. And I feel like it just puts two major players in the salad category. And I don't know, when we've been talking for the last like 3 years or so, as the vertical farm deal goes bigger, we're like, where are they going to put all this stuff? What are they going to do? How are they going to differentiate? Well, two of the biggest just got bigger. That consolidated some SKUs. So now I feel like we're going to have less fighting to see. We've got the retailer brand, and then we're going to have a national brand, whether it's going to be Fresh Express or it's going to be a Taylor Farms. And then there's going to be some more space in that salad case, because there's going to be less duking it out over whose chopped salad kit gets this retail square footage, depending on your market, depending on, what your grocery store, who your grocery store bought from. So is that an opportunity to either shrink the case and have fewer options and have to deal with fewer name brands, or is it an opportunity to replace some of that space with some of these newer names that are coming into the market? So and like you said, and it's not just salad kits, although salad kits and bagged salad are, a major, not only dollars and sales in a grocery store, but also square footage. If you just think of how much square footage is taken up by the salad case in a grocery store, it is a huge change and huge news for what's going on in there. Not to mention all of the bulk veg and other value added options. It's a pretty big deal. Like you said, like it's really something to watch.
It is massive. And I mean, we're talking over $1 billion in sales. The replacement level salad and veg is nowhere near that. So, I mean,
Right.
it's not to say that's going to go away. I mean, it's just it's going to go to Chiquitas, So, I mean, that it's not going away.
Or do they
There,
spin it off
there's
and
been there's
focus
been a
on
lot of
kids?
criticism from the seller side and some associations about the Kroger Albertsons potential merger. And I will be interested to see if anyone will talk about this, a similar type deal on the supply side. I've reached out to a few so far, and no one has been willing to talk about it, either because it's too sensitive or because they're not sure yet. But I'm not at all surprised that no one wants to talk about it publicly, because this is it can be a little sensitive, no question.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you don't think of Chiquita Fresh Express in the bulk veg category. Dole had some business in there. But is this a time that Fresh Express would spin off all of that stuff onto another grower shipper for them to pick up that business, and then instead just focus on the bag deal, the value added in the kits that Fresh Express is more known for? I don't know, but it's fascinating to watch, and it was huge news this week for sure. All right, well, I'm going to try to stay warm here. Chewy's over here trying to stay warm. All of the ice is melting here, and I am looking forward to back to in the 70s this weekend. And that's it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. If you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up.
And we can talk about football next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week.
There will be a big game following.
Big game, big numbers of avocados. I mean, everyone buy your avocados on Tuesday and they will be perfect on Sunday if you buy them hard as a rock.
That's right. And an avocado from Mexico ad during the Super Bowl.
Yep, we already saw the preview of that too.
Yeah, with Anna Faris, who apparently is still an actress. I didn't realize.